Hey folks, welcome to Do Stuff Make Things. So today I'm hopefully putting the last coat of finish on the frames, which you can see over my shoulder there, and putting another coat of the glow in the dark stuff on um, the Franken frame, um, so that it'll hopefully really, pop. And then once those dry, the next stream will be putting the hardware on and then getting back to turning bowls. Um, Once I put the finish on all this, though, I'm going to talk about, kind of why I'm here and what I'm, hoping to accomplish with this and get going as a result, if that's possible. I don't know. Time will tell. If nothing else, it's just a fun, you know, way to document what's going on in my tiny little shop. So, I'm just going to kind of jump right in with putting the second coat of finish on and get going. It's going to be kind of a quiet one today. Not a lot of power tools. At least I hope. If I'm using power tools, something's gone drastically wrong. But we'll see, I guess. Oof. I guess I can get some of this junk out of the way. Did I ever do? Oh, I never did that. I'll do that real quick. So, one of the interesting things about this stuff is I was fully expecting it to be like white when I got it. Um, if you didn't catch what it was the other day, it is the Deco Art Ultimate Glow in the Dark paint. Um, but like I did a coat before and it dries clear, which is pretty cool. So you could actually do some pretty good pranks with this stuff if you wanted. Or, possibly maybe mix it with another paint to make that paint glow in the dark. Um, or use it like on top of a base coat and under a top coat. I don't know how it would work if it wasn't clear, but you could give it a shot. I don't know. Um, and again, from last time, I'm using, can't really tip it up now. Vermont Naturals coating, Polyway finish, and semi-gloss. I don't get anything from them. I just like their products. That was fun and exciting, right? I'm going to pause that. So, why am I here? I mean, aside from it being my shop, and aside from the, philosophical nonsense and non sequiturs, I'm here because I like doing stuff, and I like sharing what I do. And I'm here instead of just trying to make videos for YouTube because, well, who's got time to edit all that stuff? If you have time to edit all that stuff, let me know. Because I sure don't. But, broad strokes, I came up with something a while back um, and patented it. Or at least I've put in for the patent. We did the provisional patent and then put in for the non-provisional patent this year. So just waiting on, the verdict of that, which, I mean, based on my searches, our searches, we couldn't really find anything that matched what it was. So, I don't have any, real concerns about that. But I'm going to get some stuff shuffled to talk about this. So I was sitting one cold holiday, patent pending. Yes, industrious designer, patent pending. Means I am waiting for the U.S. Patent Office to let me know if my invention is approved for protections from people trying to knock off this invention or creation or not, or if they want to ask another 5,000 questions about what it is. Hopefully they won't, but time will tell. So I need a little bit of a platform here so I can do it at height. Yeah, that'll work. So what I invented, what I made, was a new kind of cat tree. And you might be thinking, well, cat tree, who cares? Well, I care. Because I have been irritated with the pet furniture manufacturing industry for a very long time. Almost as long as I've been irritated with the people furniture manufacturing industry. That they basically just built off of and kept going. Oh, that might fall down. So this cat tree, this is a little dirty because I've already, ouch, this has been out here for a while, is modular and scalable. So it can easily be assembled and disassembled and moved around. And it can easily be added on, built on, expanded in, various ways, and doesn't require any tools or hardware to assemble. Anybody with, moderate mobility can do this, as I'm about to exemplify. So, we have a base, pretty normal for pet furniture, a trunk, also pretty normal for pet furniture, but then I can just start putting platforms on it. And then when I have my platforms wherever they want to go, I have a top. It just screws right on, and now you have yourself a little cat tree. The other part of the modularity of it is that just by lifting, you can change the height or direction of any of the leaves. And you go, well, I don't really want a 2-foot cat tree. My cat likes being really high. Well, that's fine. I got you covered. Because the way I designed this, and I'm probably going to have issues making this fit while on the table. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go like this first. You want it taller, but you want your cat tree taller. That means you also need more places for your cat to be. If I was doing this on the ground, this would be easier, but I'm doing it up here so I don't have to bend over a lot. And we'll get to this one in a minute. Actually, I'll put that one on top and put this one under it. This one's a prototype leaf. So, if I was normally, building this somewhere easier than on top of a table, I wouldn't have to worry about setting all these on the bottom section. They all fit to the top section. The whole system is built off of 4 parts, for basic parts. The base, the trunk, the leaves, and the top. You don't have to have top. I'm going to be having just like a cap that can also finish the top. And then you can just arrange your leaves in any sort of height and arrangement that you'd like. And you go, well, you know what? I want my cat to have a comfortable, cozy place to hang out. Well, that's what this guy is. I kind of goofed on myself here. And you go, oh, I want my cat, almost going to wreck the joint, to have a nice, comfortable hammock to hang out in. Okay, I got you. This was one of the first prototype hammocks, which was kind of fun. The cats really liked it. And then the cats also really liked stepping on the very edge of the metal ring, which made it kind of exciting. My partner's mother is an avid crocheter, and a passively active crocheter, I guess, maybe. I don't know how you would describe her proclivities towards that, but she is fond of crocheting. But we're also working on a more traditional hanging type hammock. This again, prototype, hoping to get it a little more dialed in. So there. Nice little hammock. But, what if you also go, well, I have 2 dogs, and my cat can't eat at the same level as my dogs. Well, okay. There's a food and water bowl leaf. And I need to take this off to do the next one. And then what somebody might say, who is particularly fond of house cats that are like small big cats, is, well, I've got, you know, a big chunkster, or I've got a ragdoll cat, and my cat can't fit on those tiny 10 and 12-inch leaves. Well, I'll tell you what, I got you covered for that too. And it's all just the same, bits and bobs arranged around the same core principle, literal core principle. Um, I've been making these out of certified no formaldehyde added plywood for the leaves, the tops, and the bases. Locally sourced hardwood for the heels and toes. Um, Organic hemp rope as opposed to sisal as much as possible. Hemp is a little more expensive, so I'm going to also be using sisal to make it, more approachable, more accessible. This isn't like a boutique item that I'm trying to sell to stupidly rich people. This is something I want people to be able to have for a long time, to be with them and their pets for years. And I want them to be confident knowing that the people who made this care about it, and we don't want to add to the stress in your life about what happens when your cat starts chewing on this. I mean, this is the plywood uses Pure Bond as its laminate, so it's not urea derived formaldehyde, which a lot of normal plywoods are. The covers, I haven't really talked about the covers yet. The covers we're making out of burlap. We're looking for a burlap that doesn't shed quite so much as this, but the covers are removable so that they'll be able to be washable. Here's one that's off a leaf. And it's just, natural burlap with a little cotton batting on the inside. Just give a little bit of squish for the cat. So if they're, jump up and down a lot, that they're not gonna be having, too much impact, more than necessary. But even then, I mean, it's got a little bit of flex to it as it bounces, which is also good for their joints. And then, if you like the look of, some of the cat trees you get from stores that have multiple towers and different places to put things, I got you. Maybe. My cover shifted a little. Ah. Now I could have multiple trunks. I'm going to be making these with 9 points to attach, unless, people start saying they don't want 9 and they'd like to save, $6 on the bases or whatever. And, I'll start making them with less. And if people ask, I'll make, slightly smaller bases. Right now they're 24 by 24. And I'm also making a bridge to go between trunks, at least, side to side or corner to corner, or diagonally corner to corner or side to corner. The first one that I made is currently in testing with a couple of our product testers. Couple of cats up in somewhere else. Um, so I can't show you that right now. And then you might go, well, I don't have cats. That's a really neat piece of furniture, and I like the thought that's going into it, and I like all the things that it can do, but I don't care about cats. I care about my Star Wars collection, or I care about my weird art that I pick up from auctions. Okay, I'm fine with that. You do you. I mean, it's a platform system. You want to put your kooky art and your Star Wars memorabilia for display? Party on. As your collection grows and changes, so can your leaf tree. How about that? Um, yes, these are things I actually own because I'm ridiculous. I happen to really like that little statue that I got at an auction. So all that's to say that if, you know, I'm going to keep doing my thing on here, and if this goes anywhere, pretty much everything I make from doing, this channel is going to go towards me being able to get this idea off the ground. Because I really want it out there. I really think people like it, and I think cats will like it. The three that have been chilling on it for, well, the various iterations so far, um, for, over a year and a half, really enjoy it. Um, the elder statesman of our three uh, product testers, Cosmo, really likes being up on the top on a tiny little platform. I don't know why he likes being like he's in a sitting on a crow's perch on a ship or something. It's kind of funny. Um, Surveying his domain. But, you know, right now, unfortunately, the trunk of this is, the core is PVC. There's no other plastic um, used in making this. And I'm going to be getting away from that as well, the PVC. I'm going to be switching to a wood core, which I've prototyped making one just to make sure the spirals and stuff work, and it does. But I don't have a CNC, and I don't have a CNC with an indexer. So for me to get those, because that was the other thing, I kind of designed this whole thing so that I could cut it all on CNC, and there is the handmade element of it in the finishing and the fine work of it and the assembling, but just to cut out 100 of the one shape, I want a CNC for that. I don't have that, so until I do, I'm going to be doing those by hand on the router table, which is going to take a minute, but you'll get to suffer through it with me if you're watching, because I'm going to start building them on stream once I get some more plywood, because this piece that the leaf tree's on top of is the last of my Pure Bond plywood. What am I missing? What am I not talking about on this? I want this to be something that is super useful and people feel good about, not just environmentally and manufacturing wise. We're going to have instructions on disassembly and disposal. We are long term hoping to be able to track where everything comes from, so people can say, oh, where did that hemp come from for the rope? And we can go, well, it actually came from, this region of farms that do industrial hemp farming, or, this region largely is where the wood comes from to make the plywood, or the burlap. I would love to do hemp burlap. because a lot of the industrial hemp that we have growing here locally where I am is not great for like fine textiles, but it's really good for stuff like rope or coarse textiles like burlap. We think. We haven't tried it for burlap, but we know that what they're growing would work for rope. So maybe we'll be making our own rope, or somebody wants to make hemp rope. Um, I don't know. We'll find out. We've been in the throes of trying to, start Mindful Maker Co., our company, to get Leaf Tree off the ground, trying to get financial support and financing from cooperatives because we want to be a cooperative. I don't want it to just be me. I want it to be something that can survive me. And for the people who I work with to own what they're doing and have a say in what they're doing. And cooperatives make sense for that. Democratic governance. Everybody who is part of the cooperative gets a vote. Like, it's a beautiful thing. So that's why I'm here. Trying to get this crazy project off the ground. And also because, if I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to myself. And honestly, the conversations that I have in my shop when a camera's not in here is pretty much the same as, when you guys are here. I just kind of ramble at myself. And yeah, of course, I'm still going to do other things. I have, all these bowls to finish. Obviously, I have a literal ton of wood to get through. But interspersed with that, I'm going to be working on this stuff because I'm going to start selling them one by one just to get them out in the world and get more real world feedback from people whom I don't know. um, and hopefully, get traction to be able to get the things I need, to get this going. Part of that is people to help me make this thing. The other part is, the financial support to get the tools and a space and really start, building this as a commercially viable cooperative. And I think it has the potential to do that. It's hard to find people, It's, I know a lot of great people that are really good at what they do, really great craftspeople, um, really great artists, good, decent business people, even. But, jumping into an unknown, a cooperative is an unknown for a lot of people, especially a worker-owned cooperative. And a startup is, inherently an unknown, and it's a big risk for people. And I can't expect people with, mortgages and kids and whatever else to take the leap with me. So here I am, hanging on by a string, doing what I can. But yeah, if you have, animals or pets, chinchillas, rats, ferrets, marmots, anything that you have that likes to climb on stuff, even birds would probably benefit from a leaf tree. I could make one that's just, a little ring on the back and attachment points for different kinds of branches or posts. I want people to tell me what they want, and then I want to make it for them. So that's really cool to me. So yeah, again, that's why I'm here. And of course, to show off my pretty bowls. And to rant about my tiny shop. Once I get through that wood, it will not feel so tiny. Because literally of, this the areas of my shop that aren't taken up by tools around the perimeter or in the corner, literally almost a quarter of it is just wood. Um, in a 20 by 20 shop, that's a lot of wood. But let's see if is this stuff dry enough yet? I was thinking I might try and put another coat on it, but it's still really tacky. Um, so yeah, if you're interested, oh right, selling the leaf trees. I completely wandered off on that one. Since I started selling my bowls and stuff on Artisans Cooperative, artisans.coop, I'm going to also be starting off selling the leaf trees there, since they are all handmade by me. They very much fall under the handmade mantra of that site. They're also, don't tell anybody, October, they're getting ready to do a membership drive to get more artisans to sign up to sell. Basically, if you don't know, Artisans Cooperative it came as a brainchild out of the Etsy strike of, I think it was it was either 2020 or 2022. I think it was 2022. Like that was, stop Etsy or whatever the no more Etsy, whatever the hashtag was that people were using. I've never gotten hashtags. Not my thing. So a bunch of people got together that were angry about the rising fees and the hidden fees, and I don't really blame them. That's one of the reasons why I stopped selling online, was because Etsy was one of the only places, and I had to keep raising my prices on stuff because every time I sold something, it seemed like I was making less and less for it, because they kept like slapping on these additional things and nickel and diming you to death. So I sold to individuals. People asked for something, I do commissions, and then Artisans Cooperative showed up. They went through an incubator program with Start.coop or Start.coop, which is a kind of like I don't want to say like an angel firm, but they incubate good ideas, work with the people trying to start it up, give them funding, really support them, and give them the ground work that they need to get set up and be successful, and then help you get going. And now they're in their second full year of operation of actually selling. Their first year was started in spring or summer of last year, so we're now into the second year but not done with it. And yeah, so I bought in. I'm a member owner now, and I'm selling my stuff on there. You can check it out if you search artisans.coop. You can also look for Do Stuff Make Things. If you have questions, thoughts, or are interested in Leaftree, you can go to leaftree.co, not .com. We could have gotten .com, I think, but it was ludicrously expensive for no apparent reason. And if you want to know more about the cooperative, you can check out mindfulmaker.co. That's got a little bit about us, our background, where we want to go. The whole thing with Mindful Maker is like I don't intend to be limited by pet furniture. I mean, there are a couple things that we're thinking about in like the pet sphere, but I really want it to be products we care about, which means we're gonna be, crossing a lot of lines over time. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. Um, Going to different, aspects of the home and showing how transparent you can be with the processes and how things are made, how people are being treated, what's coming from, where everything's coming from, and shining a light into the darkness of where supply chain accountability ends, and go like, we get this thing for this. This is the only place we can get that thing and make this whole product affordable, but they won't tell us where they get their materials. They won't tell us where their manufacturing is, or whatever. And maybe somebody goes, you know what, this other company makes that exact thing, but their SEO is garbage. Look them up, and then we can fill in the gaps. I would love to do that. I would love to have that level of honesty in what we're doing and what we're making, and that level of communication with people who care about the things we care about, um, and go from there and just keep being better. Yeah. So that was a lot of babbling, but that's what I said I was going to do. All right, so that's enough, real talk stuff. Pack some of this stuff back up, take it back inside. So the first leaf trees going on the website will be at some point in the reasonably near future. I don't know the exact date because I haven't figured it out yet. I need to take a full inventory of all the bits, which I did, and then I brought a bunch of stuff out here, which went with the stuff I already had out here, and now I have to do that all over again because I'm a dum-dum. But since, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it might, let's see if I turn, okay, I'm just going to like break all my cameras here. So I'm going to go like that. And then turn that one off. And turn this one off. So without any extra light, just kind of sitting here. How's that doing? Oh, man, that light does way too good. Oh, we lost it. Alright, my cameras pick up light way too well. And I have to do too many things to get all the lights off. Alright. How's that doing? Oh, you can barely see it. Alright, so that's actually pretty cool. It looks actually much brighter in person. But you can kind of see it. And that was just, charging from the ambient light for a little while, 5 feet above the work table. But just a couple seconds under a rather bright light. Let's call it speed charging. I don't know how it looks on your end, but it looks pretty great on mine. I don't know how long it lasts, though. That is a question. How long, with being in light, will it stay ominously glowing in a black room? I don't know. Anybody want to take a bet? All right. Well, that's exciting that that's actually looks like it's going to work well. All right, well, unfortunately, until these dry, I can't do a ton else right now. I'm hoping to be in here for a long day tomorrow. I can put a coat on this of finish, and then I can put the hardware on those, and they'll be donezo. And then I can get back to the bowls, and then I can start making leaf trees. Oh, so for the trunks that I was talking about before, making those by hand. So basically, I'm going to take 4 pieces of wood, join them with miter corners, and then put a groove in it. Because one of the problems with the PVC is that because it's a smooth plastic, the rope starts to slip a little um, over time. And I want to, get that out as soon as possible. But that was part of why, I put, I'll go back to the other look. There we go. That was one of the reasons why I've got the caps on here, is to help keep the rope from sliding off the end. I don't want to glue it because I'm trying to limit the amount of extra crap that I'm using and potentially exposing really violent animals to. I don't want to do cardboard, so nobody suggests that, because we've heard multiple horror stories. Even like we made this, we took it to a pet show, and we had this very nice guy, talk to us about. He's got like this forest of cat trees in his house, and I was like, well, the way that we're designing this, you could just build a forest of all the same parts and move it all around. And he was intrigued by that. He liked the concept and idea, and was like, well, if I, next time we start needing to buy cat trees, if you guys are selling, we'll consider it, which was great. But he was talking about how so many of the cat trees he has, obviously, have the cardboard trunks. And if you've got sisal rope like this, and a cardboard trunk, when the cats start shredding this, it's just going to start coming out as like, these little bits of straw, which you probably can't see from there. Versus the hemp, which as they start trying to shred it, it ends up fluffing a lot more, because it's a much softer textile. It is so much nicer on your hands than the sisal is, or jute, or manila, um, and it doesn't end up quite as like pokey straw-like as those do when you have the hemp. But the cardboard, you get through the sisal, and then they're chewing on the cardboard, and cats can decimate some cardboard. Hence, all the cardboard cat toys out there, which I despise. I don't begrudge people thinking, oh, my cat loves to, or we see all of this cat content of cats destroying cardboard. They must like cardboard. Let's make cardboard cat furniture and cat toys and cat scratchers. But the problem with that is, you don't know where that cardboard came from. And the people that are saying that it's 100% recycled cardboard, freaking run away screaming from that stuff. Like, recycled, great. Now you have no idea what's in that cardboard. That could have been used to transport motor oil. It might not have gotten spilled on by motor oil because that would have made it unrecyclable, but people throw a lot of crappy stuff in the cardboard recycling. And sometimes that means the entire trailer gets thrown out, and sometimes it means contaminants make it through the recycling process. You don't know. Don't get me wrong, I love recycling. I am all about recycling. I don't want to eat recycling. I don't want my pets to eat recycled cardboard that I don't know. I am doing this so that I know where this stuff is coming from, that the cats are inadvertently taking into their bodies, that we are existing with and taking into our bodies. If I can't say, yes, I know that this came from farms in France at Natelier and then was shipped across the world, sadly, very sadly, to British Columbia, Canada, to a homesteading company that sells a lot of hemp products and natural linens and cottons that are minimally processed and then shipped to a warehouse in Washington State to ease the burden of customs. I can say that about this hemp rope. I can't say anything about that recycled cardboard stuff. I will say that unless I can 100% trace where a cardboard came from, I will never make a cardboard apparatus for the leaf tree. I would rather use virgin cardboard instead of recycled for something that cats are going to literally destroy. And I don't really want to use cardboard because there's so much involved in processing to make paper and cardboard. I want to limit how much of that stuff gets used in this. I'm already using wood. I don't need to use, wood's mutilated cousin too. Sorry, that got dark. Um, yeah, so I need to make a rig, which I have the plans for, I have the shopping list for. I need to pull the trigger on getting that because it was a project in Shop Notes magazine, um, Woodcraft Shop Notes, something like that. A Shop Notes. That was a jig for milling table legs, or chair legs, or whatever. Whatever you need to make something cylindrical but also tapered, and you want it to have a specific design in it that needs to be repeatable, that would be unrealistic to do on a lathe. That kind of thing. When I get a CNC, I'll have an indexer head, which is just a rotary chuck. It's basically just, the headstock and the tailstock of a lathe that moves. Moves are computer controlled based on the file that you input, which will be ostensibly incredibly cool. I dream of that day. But until then, I had to figure out the gearing because everything that was made for that jig, that rig that they put out there, was different. It was for much broader designs, longer. So, like, one revolution of the leg would travel like an inch and an eighth or something bizarre if you did it on its tightest rotary. What I need is something that can travel, a quarter inch per revolution for me to be able to, because the rope we're using is 6 millimeter or quarter inch. So it's not super small and weak and easily shredded and not super beefy, which would add a lot of weight. So I need to be able to make, like 3/7 of a quarter inch pass in a tight spiral all the way up. So I did the math, I think, right? We'll find out when I make it. So I have all of the files so I can cut that at work because I don't really want to cut all the teeth of the gearing out by hand. I can use my CNC at work. I can do that for random little projects. I can't run a business out of where I work. Um, it would be a really great way to get fired, but I can't afford to get fired right now. So, yeah, things I'm not making money on, I can do at work. Things that I would be making money on, I can't do at work. I can prototype stuff. I can, you know, think things out. I can try experiments. I just can't make everything I need, which is a bummer, but c'est la vie. I don't know many businesses where you could actually run a side business out of your business, out of a business that you don't own and not get in trouble for it. So I guess it's fair. But anyway, so that is once I can sell a few things more to afford all the bits and bobs to make that rig, I will do that, and then we will start making trunks with absolutely zero plastic, which is a really roundabout way of getting there. Sorry. Tonight's apparently a rambly night because nobody's talking in chat, so it's just me talking to myself. Yeah, that's what I got. I'll let those dry. Then tomorrow I can do the hardware, do the final assembly. And one of those will go on, at least one of those will go on the website. And then I'll do all my figurines and I'll put cat tree stuff on artisans.coop with some caveats that I will be offering for some of these parts to exchange later because some of these are prototypey parts. I might not. It depends on what I got. I have to figure out all the pieces I have before I decide if I'm going to do that. The leaves are all fine. The trunks are the only thing that I'm just not super stoked about selling yet because I want them to be what they're going to be. I want them to be the final product. But sending them out is, with the PVC will be fine. I'm just grumpy. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, that's going to be really dark if I do that. All right, I'll finish over here this time. So that's what I got today. Um, Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to me babble an awful lot tonight. Um, I'm not sure when, but sometime this weekend, the next day or two, I'll be back to finish this stuff up, get it all somewhere less dusty, so I can get back to work on these really pretty bowls. Like, I'm really excited to finish these bowls. Some of the grain patterns is just really fun. And get to all the big ones. But anyway, thanks for being here. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.